So when I went out the other day, on the second, which was, I think it was a Monday, I was drift fishing the grass flats there east of Bird Island, and my Penn slammer, I hooked onto a red, and my Penn slammer stripped or something. It's not working properly. Like I don't know, something happened in here. My 260 pin. So I lost the red because I couldn't reel it in. Look how I spooled the line back. So something mechanically went wrong. I really don't know what it is. I got to take it apart and see what happened. I've never had an issue out of this reel. I always clean them periodically, maintenance them, grease them up, pull them all apart, get everything lubed and greased, and put them all back together, and they functioned well. I bought this thing back in, I want to say 2007 is when I got it, and it's always performed well. This is the first time it's ever failed me out there, so it'd be interesting to see what actually happened to it. So I'm going to take it apart and take a look, see what's wrong with it. It's been a really good reel. I've caught a lot of fish on this reel. A lot of redfish, trout, you name it, drum. Over the years, a lot of fish. I was still fishing in my Dartle 170 Scout when I bought this reel. But it's not, you see how it doesn't go all the way down? Like, see how it stays right there? It should be going completely all the way down and then back up. And it stopped. You see how it's just barely moving anything? So there's something, and I can feel it. I don't know if you can hear that, but it doesn't even feel right. Like there's something's out of place in there. I can get my gloves on before I get too much grease everywhere. Take a look. But like I said, this has been a really good reel over the years. This is the first time I've ever had an issue out of it. Caught many a fish on this reel. I love this series, the Slammer series. They did away with it years ago. And actually, I think when I bought these, they were on clearance, and they were the last two. I'd never seen a Slammer. I went to Academy one night after I got off work. I stopped off over there, and they had these out there on clearance, because they were doing away with the whole line, and they were gonna, I guess, redesign everything. And I just happened to show up at the time, and they only had these. They only had two left, or I would have bought more. They only had this one 260, and they had a one 360 left in the display case. So, looking at it, I'm thinking this shaft is too far forward just by looking at it here. But let me see if I can get it off. See what's going on here. In fact, let me take this off. Get this out of the way. Looks like it skipped the track or something here. Let me see. What's wrong, Bubby Booby? Huh? Chico, what's wrong with you? Just lay down. Well, maybe there is a ring pin on this side. I don't remember there being one there, but there might be. It has to come out to get it out. Teeth look fine. There's a pin right here. Is there a look? Settle down. Settle down. My hand's greasy. I can't pet you. Lay down. Go lay down, Cassie. There, come on, baby. It's coming, but slowly. It's trying to get out of there. The shafts. Okay, so that's there. Oh, this thing's off, right? This mechanism here that slides behind it. I think that might have been what broke. There's a mechanism that slides right and back and forth here that connects to this other gear here, and I'm thinking that's where the issue's at. Can't see in there. I need to be able to see in there. Get a light. Get a light on. Pretty sure there's not no ring keeper in there, but you never know. Maybe there might be one there, but there isn't. This guy just kind of froze in there, I guess. I seized up in there. Just doesn't want to come out. That's all there is to it. Just being hard. There it is. Just being hard. Alright, so let's see what happened to this bad boy. I want to say it looks like it's stripped right there. Let me get the light on it so I can see better. This smaller gear on this side looks like it's got some wear. And then let's take a look here and see what we got going. You can see right here, see how this thing's supposed to go back? This thing should go all the way. Oh, now it's not even going down. Alright, we get it on the track. So it should go all the way down like that. And that's not what it's not doing. See how it goes all the way down? That's how it should work. And it was staying up here. So I mean, the gear below it looks good, but I can't tell what we got going right here. Unless it's just skipped out of its track. Maybe that's all it is. For some reason it skipped and jumped its track where I was supposed to slide. Because everything else looks good. This gear looks good. Look at this gear. Make sure. This gear's got a little bit of wear on the teeth. Not much. Right there. But overall, I don't see any broken teeth anywhere on it. So maybe that's all that happened. Is somehow it slipped off its track. Went too far forward. You see how it's got a little track right there? It may have gone, see, too far forward, and then it slipped out of its track on the bottom, and that's why it wouldn't come back. See how it catches? So maybe that's all that happened to it. So I'm going to put it back in its track. Let me put the bushing back on it. That keeps it straight. And let me put this back in there to keep the grease from coming out of it. And let me look at this guy again just to make sure everything looks good on it. Oh, look. You see it right there? It looks like there's one broken tooth on this guy. But that shouldn't affect the retrieval because it's on the opposite side. Oh yeah, it does. It runs the mechanism that runs the shaft going up and down. So let's take a look at this. Let me clean this off. So this might be where the problem is. This might have a broken tooth on it, and that's why it's slipped off its track. Let's see, just to make sure. Yeah, you see it right there? That's what happened. It broke a tooth off. Right here. It's missing a tooth. So that's how it failed. Basically, this shaft has to go up and down. Well, I knocked it out of its place. Hold on, I'm trying to show you guys, but so it slides complete forward, backwards, and how that motion is on this side where all these teeth are. They hook to the wheel that's back here that controls this mechanism, and one of the tooth broke off right there. It's missing a tooth. So I don't even know if I can get this. I'm hoping there's parts out there for it, but I think if I put it back together, I think it'll work. But for how long, I couldn't tell you, because all it takes is for another big red to get on it and, you know, run the drag and put a load on it, and then it'll probably give away again, like what happened when that load got put on the pole and started tightening up, and then when you wanted to crank down and start really cranking it, it stripped, and that was it. And the red just kept running, and I couldn't pull him back in. I tried pulling him back in by hand, but he got off. There got too much slack in the line, and he was off. So I'll look to see if I can order these. I got to get online and take a look. But that's what the problem is. That's why this reel failed. Is that one tooth right there broke off. Where is it at? So you guys, I don't know if you guys can see it. Where is the broken tooth? You see it right there? That tooth is missing that tooth. You see the gap? When you turn it, you see all the teeth are nice and tight, and then you come there and there's a gap right there. There shouldn't be no gap. But that's why my Penn 260 Slimer failed on the second out there Monday when I was drift fishing the grass flats behind Bird Island, when I had a red on the line. I don't think I put the footage in the video, but that's what happened. I was looking for it, so I think I probably deleted it when I was deleting a bunch of stuff that I didn't really need, and I couldn't find it. But I was going to add that to this, but I couldn't find it. But that's what happened. So I'll try putting it back together and see if it'll spin now. It probably will, but for how long? That's the $1,000,000 question. So this bearing goes in here like this, and you have to work it down in there. So you probably need to put the bearing in first, because I'd be surprised if that would get by. That's why I was having trouble getting by that wheel there. So this probably guy needs to set in there first, and then you put it in through that, more than likely. I would think that's how this goes. That's why I was having trouble trying to get it out, because it wouldn't come off of this. No. Yeah, Cassie's hair gets into everything. Thing about having a long-haired dog, hair gets into everything. Let's see. It looks like it can go either way. This bearing's not specific. But put the bearing in first. Make it easier on yourself. So that's what I did. Make sure it's locked into place. Okay. So you always want to put the bearing in first, because you see how this set of teeth on this cog comes out past that. You get in there at an angle and you put it in. And then the shaft should slide right in there fairly easy, like that. See? Perfect. And then this bearing, we can put it on here, I guess. That'll work right there. And then this cover goes right here on there like that. But y'all, you know, being in the salt water, you have to do maintenance on your reels, because the salt, especially down here, because we're in a hypersaline environment. It's really super saline compared to other places around the world. We're probably the most saline bay outside of the Dead Sea over in Israel and Jordan, between Jordan and Israel. We have a high salt content, very corrosion. So as you can see how the salt takes its toll, but the reel functions. Just as long as you maintenance it periodically, take it apart, clean it out, you can it'll last a long time. Like I said, I bought this reel in 2007, and this is 2022, almost 2023, and this is the first issue I've ever had out of it. So this one will be on the back burner until I can see if I can get a main shaft with the cogs on it. I got to look online to see if they're even available. But it should work now, because I put it back in. But it would probably fail again whenever I get a big load on it. So I wouldn't chance. I don't think I'm going to chance it taking it out there and using it. Because more than likely the odds are it'll fail again at some point in time. The cogs will line up just right, and it'll slip, the shaft will come off, and it won't slide back and forth like it's supposed to. It's just a numbers game. And I got plenty of reels. I mean, I love this reel. This is probably one of my favorite reels. But I can go back, like as you've seen in the last couple of videos, I've been using that old 430 SS. I mean, I use those for decades. And I can go right back to them, no problem. And still bring in the reds with them. Just takes a little longer, because what I like about it, this reel isn't much bigger than a 430 SS, but the spool is bigger, so it spools more line than the 430 SS, and the handle is bigger, so you can really crank. If you get a big red on there, it's easy to fight the red, and you don't have to pace it. That's with the 430 SS is an excellent reel, but you just have to make sure you have to pace it, let it run its course. But with this setup here, where they put the bigger handle, oh, it made the difference between night and day on the reel and this setup. So let's take a look. Let's see if it works. It should go all the way up and all the way down, up and down, up and down. Let's see, it's still not working. You hear that? So it's not working. You see how it's staying in that spot? So with just that one cog missing, that causes that reel to fail. So but like I say, this has been an excellent reel. First time it's ever failed on me. I love this series. They don't make them anymore. I think you can get a Japanese and Chinese version of it. I'm probably going to order one to see, because more than likely the parts are made in China for it, I'm sure. When I get online, check eBay, and more than likely that's going to be the only place you're going to be able to get the parts for these, if there's any floating around, and get this one repaired. But yeah, that's the reason why my 260 slammer failed out there the other day. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.